Well, hello everybody. We have to have a major talk, and it is on the liar, Pierre Poilievre. I am no fan of Trudeau's. Hardly, never could be. He's the worst prime minister we've had in a very, very long time. A lot of them are rotten. A lot of them rotten to the core. But what about Pierre Poilievre? What about him? Educational background, Bachelor of Arts, majored in theater. Justin Trudeau, education, Bachelor of Arts, majored in education, specifically drama. Theater, drama. Neither of these fools have ever put in any real career anywhere. People try to say, oh, they've got a great track record. I've got literally signed by Pierre Poilievre to present to all of you. It's going to be a Facebook Live, many hours. It's going to be a live for hours, literally hours. Split screen. I'm going to have Ian Bjorkman run all of it for you in writing, and we're going to go through it policy by policy to every single organization, corporation, billionaire individual that he's promised this stuff to in writing. He signed off. He did this quite a long time ago, folks, back in 2021, February 21st. It was actually put through on my birthday, but by the time Parliament signs it off, it was the 21st. It's on his timeline, too, if you wish to go read it. It's well over 300 pages, 427 if you take all the links and you go through it piece by piece, research every little piece with every link. The policies are disgusting. They're completely opposite of what he says to all of you constantly every day, and about the worst propaganda lie I've heard out of that man's mouth. Well, generally lies, just like Trudeau, on everything. It's expected from Trudeau. Trudeau is an enemy of Canada, an enemy of the people, an enemy of the economy. He's got a journalist as a finance minister. But what of Pierre Poilievre? Because I can tell you, folks, as it stands, he's likely to win in 2025. And if that's the case, if you're going to use the name conservative, I would hope that you wouldn't be another Trudeau liar, and that you wouldn't make up the biggest whopping provable lies that I'm going to give to you today. Now, he ran a video yesterday. Finally, there has been not one word from any of these ridiculous Canadian political leaders of our mainstream parties. Not Liberal, not Conservative, and not NDP, and on and on. We can go Bloc, we can go PPC, we can go Green Party, we can go on and on. Yves Blanchette, Bloc, another joke for another day. But folks, he talks of Nordstream, he talks of Russia and Ukraine, he talks about the Nordstream pipeline, the main pipeline that's been in effect for a very, very long time. He says, folks, Canada, which I already gave to all of you well over a month ago now, is on the turbines that were furbished by Siemens Electric right here in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And sanctions say, oh, Trudeau can't give them up. Trudeau had to give them up. The entire EU, including the countries that control Canada, the absolute most. Everybody should know this. It's not a big secret. Pierre Poilievre signed his soul away a very, very long time ago, folks. He signed off under Harper in Privy Council, officially with his own signature. He signed off to France and UK. Signed off. Green New Deal. 2012, the Commonwealth Charter 2012. We also had seen the Canada-China CNO deal. Do you know who else voted for that too? Even though all of you said, no, don't do it. Please don't do this. In fact, all Canadians, whether they were mostly Liberal or NDP mix, Conservative, Bloc, and the low small green, you all said in massive majority, don't do it. Harper and Pierre Poilievre in his Privy Council said, we won't do it. But they did. He did, and he signed off. It's logged forever for anyone to see. He did it, even though more than 80% of you said, don't do it. Your average Canadian knew better to say, don't do it. Pierre Poilievre did it. Now he gets on the TV for all of you yesterday in Facebook land, and everybody love and liking, oh, Pierre's God. He's against all this. Against it all. He's been for it for longer than 10 years. Provable, almost 12 years he's been in these policies. Those turbines, that commission to Quebec, that's all for under Bloc. That was all a promise from the Conservatives to Bloc to see that happen, to get that commissioning work for Germany. That was done by Pierre Poilievre. He signed that off. So now sanctions come, but EU in majority, including France and UK, on behalf of Germany, you know, G7 countries, G20 in fact, all unanimously said, you get those turbines to Germany and you do it now. Pierre Poilievre says, oh no, you say no, you don't do it. Oh, okay, Pierre. USA said, do it. Show me a Republican or Democrat who said don't do it. Show me one. Somebody come forward. If you're such a big shot, right, where we're tough Canadians, we're going to take on Russia, we're going to take on UK and France, that's called a big, fat whopper of a lie. Now, there's a part two to this lie that really makes me just want to, these politicians up in the head, especially Pierre Poilievre. He says, LNG, folks, we should be exporting it. We should have pipelines and we should have tankers to do that. Folks, do you know what Pierre Poilievre and Stephen Harper, and of course their best friend Justin Trudeau, and I said it, best friend, guy I can't stand, I'm an Alberta boy, been in oil and gas almost nearly my entire working career. Almost. Coal energy too, that's long gone. He tells all of you, well, we got to export it. Yeah, on ships. Geez, why didn't I think of that, Pierre? Geez, I never thought of that. Nobody thought of that. Let me tell you something, folks, that I released a very, very long time ago. And Pierre Poilievre, the Bachelor of Arts, the major in theater, isn't telling any of you in real world economics, in real world binding law. Since January of 2020. So Pierre's known now, you guys, for 2 full years and then 7 months. He's known for 2 full years and 7 months. This man has been a lifetime Privy Council member for over a decade. Since Harper, he knows all of it, entirely all of it, everything that's been released to all of you. We can't ship on our shitty little tankers anymore. They're banned from leaving the coast of North America. You can't leave the coast with our shitty little tankers that are owned by good friends of Pierre Poilievre and even Justin Trudeau. They have their financial hands in it. 110%. All of the filthy, corrupt criminals. We are not allowed to ship on those shitty little tankers. I'm going to say it again. You're not allowed since January 1st, 2020, 2 years and 7 months ago now, Canada's not allowed to leave their coast with oil, natural gas, or LNG on our shitty little tankers because there's sulfur restrictions and the fuel that's used to burn them. You can't ship those products on those shitty little tankers. Have I said it a million times now? People, go look at the IMO that we are bound to, whether we like it or not. And if you try to do that, if you try to send one out, you're going to see it seized by all kinds of countries. In fact, our southern neighbors, USA, will seize your tankers. That means you can't do it. That's just USA. Never mind Russia. Never mind the rest of them. What's Pierre going to do? Screw US? Screw Russia? Screw China? Screw the world? At what point? Sorry, it looks like I got a little Furby action going on back there. It's been activated. I don't know. This is reality, guys. This is reality forever and a day. Let's even quiet that down. I don't know. Driving me nuts, a little Furby. Folks, that's the truth. Pierre's known for 2 years and 7 months. He knows because he helped write the policy and ensured that on behalf of Canada while he was Privy Counsel to Harper. They didn't think it was a big deal to change and adopt world-binding laws that Canada just won't ship anymore. In fact, I can go through all of the Green New Deal promised by Pierre Poilievre, all of it, destroying Alberta and the West in all of our fossil fuel industries, destroying the oil sands, destroying any exports out west, all of them entirely. A little kiss-ass policy shared between Pierre and Justin Trudeau and, of course, NDP and Greens as well for the East Coast. Not for the West, only the East Coast. And we're not going to be using our shipping companies. We're going to be shipping down to the States and then they're going to send it away. There's one deep port in Canada that doesn't even ship its own product. We have to get other countries to receive and ship on our behalf. It's how come we get such large discounts. In fact, the largest discounts in the entire world. Now, fake economists or bullshitter economists, I guess, they're real economists. They went to school, but they're called political economists, meaning if you give them enough money, they'll write up a new formula and a new reason why Canada's products are the most deeply discounted in the world. For example, Iran, right? Iran shoots down planes with Ukrainians and Ukrainian Canadians and Muslim Canadians on board. Just waste them. And that's okay. Don't worry about it. You get full price for your oil products under the world's harshest sanctions. But don't worry. You'll get full price. Alberta, Canada, you're going to get the deepest discount in the entire world. Whose fault is it and what's the real formula, folks? The real formula has been published for all of you January 1st, 2020. I've given it all to you guys forever and a day. Canada doesn't export any of its products according to the rules, the world governing order. We're not banned. We don't have issues with our oil products because not everything is based on producing gasoline. For those telling you that we need to refine gasoline here to sell it on the world stage, you can't ship gasoline on ships. You can ship oils. They have a whole list of what you can actually ship, how you are to ship it, and in what size of tanker you ship that with. To get to that point requires deep ports, massive 1 to 2 million capacity super tankers, which we don't have. We're 5 times less than the capacity, and we burn outrageous amounts of sulfur and diesel for the weight of that oil, because that's what they calculate and say that's too much damage to the environment globally. Now, US respects that. Russia respects that. China respects that. France respects that. UK respects that. Little Norway respects that. And Canada, even looking at Norway, were unable to deliver the same east or west. And then you look at unceded land, and then you start to realize who's the corruption here. Well, I have three dirty birds. Justin Trudeau, leader, current PM of Canada. Then there's Pierre Poilievre. Then there's their dirty little buddy, Jagmeet Singh. There's obviously Yves Blanchet. We can go on, including Maxime Bernier, People's Party of Canada. Until these politicians want to come forward and start telling you the truth that they've administered to create these problems for all Canadians, giving us the worst return on any publicly funded investments we're forced into with our tax dollars, meaning we go to work and we have to fund their corruption. And that's what it really is, folks. Funded corruption of the elite first class. Every single party. This is just a small one. And it's really shocking to watch 10,000 Canadians likes and loves. And then I see all the people on my friends list. Oh, I'm so proud. Like you've learned nothing. Some of you have been following me a long time. How can you not understand that you have the lowest valued products in the entire world? You get the biggest discounts. They make up stories why. They tell you, well, it's the sulfur content of your oil. That wouldn't be an issue if you shipped on the capacity tankers to reduce what's burned while you're shipping it. Because again, not all oil sold, especially in heavy crudes, is for fuels. In fact, not a lot. Massive manufacturing and many products that we all utilize right around us. Everywhere I look at a home, I see them everywhere. Even my clothes right now, my shoes, my shoelaces, my shirt, this shirt, the buttons, all come from, I don't even think I'd have underwear. Yeah, because the elastic band in my sports boxers I'd be sitting here stock naked going, man, I got rid of all the oil products. Does anybody have any hemp underwear to wear? That's where I would be. I wouldn't even have my glasses. Folks, you're being played. You're being manipulated. You're being lied to. And sadly, most of you are going to vote for another liar, another drama teacher spin-off who's worse. He's a theater major, Bachelor of Arts. None of these guys really ever had real jobs. They say they do. I watched people are sharing Pierre's video on, look, he sanded the shit off the boards and he put all these boards from an old building. Oh yeah. Must be nice to have that kind of money. Must be nice to have that kind of money to pick out products like that, hand-picked, hand-done, all of it, because it costs a tremendous amount of money. They'll say, I could just ordered the boards. Like, must be nice being able to put $10,000 into an interior wall. Your average Canadian could never afford that on their best days, especially now in our whopping inflation. The products we put out, folks, our natural resources for literally 38 million people, if we got rid of all the Crown land, and I'm not talking about getting rid of parks, and I get real pissed off too when everybody talks about parks. The Crown lands are massive. It's 87% of Canada. Has nothing to do with your parks. Right across Canada, provincially, federally. That's all sort of your private property, all those parks, by the way, out of the public private property of government. They get that too, plus all your Crown lands. You elect them to exploit all of those lands, make all the money with their wealthy friends all over the world, who most aren't even Canadian. But your politicians are the property owners of all that Crown land, not any of you, not the First Peoples, and not any average Joe Jane Canadians, not the third class, and not the defined second class, meaning your domestic business owners that are Canadian, not sworn to the Crown. But those Crown elected, appointed politicians, those non-profit NGOs, those of that first class of the politicians, elected or appointed, they exploit everything and hand you all the bills. They give all the deals to all their buddies all over the world to give you the worst return ever seen anywhere. There isn't any other countries worldwide who see such a shitless return on their resources. Is it the USA's fault? No. It's nobody's fault but your filthy, corrupt, dirty, lying, cheating politicians. Pierre Poilievre is no different. When you see his released platform in signed off policies, the hundreds of policies, I've taken the worst of the worst. I can show you the whole thing, but it would probably take me 4 days of Facebook Live to go through it. I'm only taking the highlights out of it. And I'm going to show you what he's promised his handlers, published, recorded in the Parliament of Canada. There for all of you to go look up. Everything they promise and do is there. Anyone can get it. Your media should be handing this to you, but the media doesn't want to. They just want more Trudeau-type governance, no matter, call it left, call it right. Anyone who steps out of line from the left, they're alt-left. If they step out of line from the right, they're alt-right. They're racist, pervert, or social communist. They'll stamp you with all that and put you in there. And yet they're the biggest liars, the biggest cheats, the biggest frauds, clearly the racists, clearly the genocidal maniacs. It goes on and on forever and a day, left to right. And it's up to all of you to share this. Everything I've given you is deadly accurate. It's 100% accurate, truthful, and most importantly, verifiable. If you don't share it because of some delusion of loyalty to politicians, or I bought a membership I support, oh no, he's not going to do any of that, wow, I have a bridge to nowhere to sell you. You're getting played. We always get played. This game of flip, flop, flip, flop. I want Trudeau gone. I want the Conservatives of Canada gone. I want all those federal parties gone. But to do that requires constitutional dismemberment, meaning tear up most 2/3 of the Constitution and completely rewrite it for you, the people. And that takes electing somebody to PM under that mandate who will take the crown positions and get that done. Because none of these guys, none of them, none of the Joe Janes, oh, I'm for the people politicians in any of the mainstream parties want to see that done. They're just more of the same old, pure autocratic dictators. Way up here, full-blown liars, thieves, and cheaters. Pierre has nothing but contempt for the oil sands, all of our manufacturing completely. He has already promised, and you're all going to see it anyway. We're going to go through each of those bullets, and you tell me, folks, you tell me, and I'll show you the paper. It's going to be going right beside me as I go through each and every piece by piece policy he wrote and signed off with his handlers. We're going to go through all of who those are. Who has he given these assurances to? Published for all of you. But apparently, I don't want to look at it. Hey, it's just writing, right? Pierre says he's not going to do any of those things. It's only what he wrote in writing, right? A written record, a promise, an assurance in writing, signed, sealed, certified to all the organizations who paid to deliver him across Canada, telling you all the bullshit. Because in Canada, that's perfectly legal. That's a good politician. Lie to all the people, cheat and steal from them. Many countries around the world, when you're a bold-faced liar, you get punished for that. Joe Biden, I hate his guts, but at least his platform was published and he's sticking to it. I'm glad, because it's going to cost him. It's going to cost the Democrats. But Canada is never going to change. Canada is never going to change, no matter who the state selects. We're always going to be getting raped. 38 million people in this much land with this much resources. You should be wealthier than the Saudi Arabia citizens. All of you should be. And even Constitution says you all own the resources in your respective provinces. Somehow that doesn't work out. Oh yeah, taxation without representation, I forgot. Tax by mode means necessary to take everything from you, because none of you exist in the Constitution. None of you. You should be legitimate, at least in your provincial constitutions. Oh yeah, you don't have any of those either. Never have. Oh no, you're not to have those. That was just a stupid idea from 1867. One of those democratic things we shouldn't worry about. Power to the people. Not a good idea. Civics, human rights, real property rights, no. Water rights, no. Power to the people, no. We don't want any of that. No. It's better to have an autocratic dictator who will take from you everything. We'll mortgage your children to nothing and turn them into full-fledged slaves. That's what people want. Share, because it's the right thing to do. Share this video, get it out there, because, folks, you are your worst enemy if you don't. That's reality. This is all verifiable and true. If you haven't read January 1st, IMO 2020, you better go read it. Canada is not compliant, refuses to be compliant. Liberal, Conservative, NDP, Green, Bloc, PPC, we can go on and on. None of them address it. None of them want to. And you know why? Because they're all Privy Council and those shitty little North America rated tankers that can't leave our coast. Or it's purposely done. We've already been sold out to wealthy billionaires who monopolize. And who creates that? Your politicians. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Stealing your resources, filling their back pockets at the expense of you and your children. Wake up. That's my video. Share, get it out there. It's the truth. Can't be denied. Go look at how the entire European Union, besides one country out of 27, 2 of which are P5, voted in relation to Russia and Nordstream. Check out the G7 and the G20. Show me a Democrat or Republican that mandated Canada not to send the turbines. Show me one. I'm waiting. I'll wait here. Show me in comments. Somebody show me. Oh, no, they were threatened. No, Canada was told you do it or else. Do it or else. And Canada always complies to the UK. If you don't believe me, just read the preamble of your Constitution right here in Canada. We don't have sovereignty. We have godlike politicians who are vested in the crown that they've assumed for themselves by always giving it back to UK on international relations. Send the turbines. Pierre wouldn't refuse. He's a liar. Just like Pierre signed off Canada-China CNO deal. More than 12 years ago, he signed off in Privy Council. That's his signature. That's Pierre Poilievre. Ask him. Say, did you or did you not do this? Or are you a liar? What is it? Did you sign that off? Did you sign the Green New Deal? Did you do that in 2012? Is that not your signature in Privy Council? Did you not empower that? Is this not your policy and platform published just February 21st, 2021? Is that not your platform? Were you not the vice chair? Is that not your signature? And your works with all the socialists. Is that not you, globalist socialist, Pierre Poilievre? Is that not your written promise to all the wealthy elites that you got listed there, public for any Canadian to read? Is that not yours? Are you recanting all that? Well, shouldn't you have had a parliamentary session since you've been on this kick? Shouldn't you have had one this year, 2022, to renounce all of it and publish a new one? Well, why doesn't he, guys? Why doesn't he? Because he's not going to do anything he's told you he's going to do. Because he's a fucking liar. Just like Trudeau. They're all Trudeaus. Just a range of how bad of a Trudeau. That's what you're getting. If you think you're helping Alberta, if you're an Albertan, you think voting for Pierre Poilievre is going to help Alberta, I think you, of all people, those people, should watch my 2 to 3 hour live FB Live as we go through each and every one of Pierre's policies. We're going to go through them with all his handlers. We're going to go through them, and you tell me, is that for or against Alberta? Is that for or against the West? Is that going to increase socialism in Canada or decrease it? You tell me. Is it buying Eastern votes at the expense of the West? Is it stinking like Trudeau 2.0? I'm just going to go through it, and you guys tell me. You tell me. That's his written works, not mine. His. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. Piece by piece. Policy by policy. You all tell me. That's my video. This is huge. Because the lies are starting to get huge now. They're bold. They're in your face. Complete lies. Again, Joe Biden's a piece of shit. I'm the first to say that. Justin Trudeau, piece of shit. I'm the first one to say it. But what's the worst kind of piece of shit? The one who lies about their entire platform to get elected and then spits out a completely Justin Trudeau platform? Who's more dangerous? The guy who lies about it or the guy who's a liar but at least follows their nutcase platform? At least you knew what you were getting when you voted. I didn't vote for any of that. I never would. But people, if you're voting for something you're supposed to get and it's going to be opposite of what they said, and then they go, oh, sorry, I already wrote all this in writing. I promised everybody, not the Canadian voter. Everybody else, people who make me rich. Sorry, you don't have enough money. Sorry, Canadian, you're just no good. I need billions of dollars here. I need to have millions of dollars ahead of me. I need to have corporations sponsoring me and my family for the many years to come along after my passing. My family will be always eternally wealthy and elite. Sick, perverse, gross, wrong, the worst kind of human being. And most of the world, honestly, of all its problems, at least most countries in the world, when a guy's a bull-faced liar like that, they get strung up, at least legally, in legal terms. They get arrested, they get put down, they get destroyed for that. In the real world, for the rest of us, at least in our Canada, for all of us outside of that political first class, that's called fraud. That's called defrauding people. If you bull-faced lie to your shareholders, so to speak, in a corporation, you'll get nailed for fraud, you'll get embezzlement, you'll get all kinds of charges. At least they'll see you rotting in jail nearly the rest of your life if the money's outstanding or big enough, the take is that big. So why is it we allow politicians to do billions and billions of dollars of damage to us each and every day as they lie on TV? And how is our media allowed to report those lies as truth when they're clearly not true? Why does the media not red flag IMO and say, Canadians, we've been bamboozled here. We can't ship any of our products. That's why the deep discounts. No other fucking reason. Because they keep changing the reasons, folks. Well, that was last year. Now there's a new formula that factors these other 20 issues. Weird. There shouldn't be a whole bunch of changes to issues because you don't see any of those issues for the entire rest of the world. And there's a lot of producers out there. If you ever go through all the oil producers of the world, there's almost every country's there. At least half of the world's countries are there. How come they don't have any of those issues? How come they don't have any deep discounts? Oh yeah, it's all about shipping and following international law. Oh yeah, Canada doesn't do that. Canada doesn't want to do that because our politicians are raping, thieving, and murdering their own citizens at will. Eat their own child for breakfast or anyone's child for breakfast. No problem. It's nothing for a Canadian politician. Hey, there's no accountability, no rules of governance, and no rules of how to govern. Just absolute crown autocracy. We, the people, don't even exist. We're just things they have to deal with every election cycle. Tell them what they want to hear. Lie your fucking face off. Rape, pillage, and plunder them. As soon as you get elected, who cares? You're in for 4 years. Fill your boots. Don't worry, you're going to be well taken care of. Good job. You're the right kind of Canadian. Disgusting, perverse, wrong. Don't let Pierre Poilievre get away with this. Hammer him on that last full-blown, in-your-face, pig at the trough, full-blown fucking liar. Nordstream and the turbines, IMO. Call them out on it, folks. Don't let them get away with it. You are the last line of defense in Canada. That's all. It's us, the little Joe Janes. That's all there is. I can lead everybody to water, but I can't make everybody drink. And, you know, they have the money, they have the power. How do you think he's affording to go all over Canada? Everybody, oh, look at all the things he's doing. I know what it costs just to work your way across Canada. Who's funding him to do all these appearances everywhere on all these shows? $30,000 TV slots? Folks, you're being played. They're all pigs at the trough. There is nothing of you, the people. Just their autocracy, their crown. Federally and provincially. That's all there is in Canada. 2/3 of the Constitution grants them that power. League of Nations, sick, audacious crown corruption. Customary crown law that's supposed to be gone since World War II. Never again. It's what all of our ancestors fought and died and gave their lives to fighting. Never again. But we're a living representation here in Canada. Forever and a day. And it'll never change unless you, the people, change it. Start calling these people out. Do it now. Thanks. That's my video. Bye now.